the weather. It gives us life, and it takes it away.
The tornado has touched down. You can't do anything.
It is a thing of staggering beauty and a destructive force, killing thousands every year.
The windows all blew out.
The whole thing's gone.
Holy crap.
It was the end.
It is gone. The building is gone.
And our warmer atmosphere is extra energy for our weather to unleash upon us.
Oh my God!
We meet the people who came face to face with Mother Nature and filmed it.
I've been fighting it for an hour.
I'm gonna sick to my stomach.
Holy! I just lost my house.
We hear firsthand how these people survived.
Oh my God! Get in the house!
He's alive. He's alive.
It's pretty much the end of humanity.
I was really convinced I would die.
Using their incredible self-shot footage, we stare straight into the eye of the storm. And witness up close the sheer force of nature.
Oh my God! Look at that!
Everybody take cover! Now!
Coming up in this episode, the biggest tornado ever recorded twists towards El Reno.
I just felt like nobody was going to know what happened to us. This is where we were going to die.
Big wave surfer Andrew Cotton is almost killed by a 60-foot wave.
I describe it like being hit by like a truck or something like that, you know.
And a 50-mile dust storm swallows Phoenix, Arizona, causing wedding chaos.
Just imagine picking up some dirt and just someone throwing it in your mouth as hard as they could.
Oklahoma, 31st of May, 2013. 10 days ago, a tornado had destroyed the town of Moore, killing 24 people. Now the same 1,000-mile supercell storm still hung over the area, threatening another massive tornado just outside the town of El Reno.
This is what's incredible. I don't want a chance. Look at that. Look at that. Look at those clouds. Look at that. It's just wrapping right into the... Look at that.
Volunteer storm reporters were out in force. Locals, James Birch and his dad, were on the line to El Reno Emergency Services.
I'm pretty sure we got a tornado on the ground a few miles.
Yep. That's the monster. Yeah, Dad, tell her we have a wedge tornado right in front of us.
Yeah, we're looking right at it.
Break, station VK 2FSIV, confirming multi-vortex wedge, extremely dangerous. Tracking path will be towards El Reno.
I've never in my life seen anything like this, ever.
3 miles away on the interstate, Semba and her trucker husband John were in their 18-wheeler on a job driving to Kansas.
We had no warning. I mean, he was actually a new driver, fresh out of class. It was his first load.
The tornado had grown to being 2.6 miles wide, the biggest ever recorded, and they were heading straight for it.
Here comes the hail.
Oh! Huge baseball-sized hail started pounding right above the windshield on the passenger side where I was.
I think it's cool.
Oh my God!
I'm like, why isn't it not pelting his side since he thinks it's so cool?
Babe, get over. We need to get over.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't know how to get over. How do I turn around?
Turning around an 18-wheeler was impossible, so they just kept going, closer and closer.
Well, I don't know what to do, babe.
Oh my God.
This is an extremely dangerous and life-threatening situation.
At the base of the tornado, storm reporters Mikey Gribble and his friend Matt were already in serious trouble.
tornado was angling up over our heads. So it was literally, you're looking up and it's right there over the top of us. I just felt like nobody was gonna know what happened to us. This is where we were gonna die.
The twister had swung round and was chasing them at 55 miles per hour. The winds blew out 3 windows.
Usually when the windows go, the car gets picked up not shortly after. I mean, it's usually a matter of seconds. And so I was just kind of biting down, just waiting, trying to brace myself for impact as the car started to fly through the field.
Back on the interstate, Sember and John had to pull over, but there was nowhere to stop. Then a relative called at just the wrong moment.
Babe.
Yeah.
Babe.
Hey. Well, we're driving through the tornado pretty much right now, like golf ball size hail coming
Oh my
down.
God.
I'm trying to pull over, but there's like no place to pull over. Oh, I should have pulled over right there.
Those trucks.
Okay.
We need to get over.
Oh, I see the tornado. I'm
It's
looking
right
right
there.
at it. Yeah, I gotta go, dude. I'll call you back.
A couple of miles ahead on the interstate, the tornado was forcing these drivers into an emergency stop. But 40 tons of truck approached from behind. With one 18-wheeler already flipped, Sember and John were still trucking forward.
No. We gotta go somewhere.
I can't. I cannot turn around.
I was having a meltdown. I've never had one in my life. That was the first time to ever have a nervous breakdown.
Simmer.
It's right there. That's massive.
I gotta turn around, but I don't know how.
Oh no, but.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
The fact that I was with my husband, John, if I was going to die, I was going to be dying by his side. And that was reassuring.
Oh my god.
Just south of the interstate, storm meteorologist Tim Samaras, his son, and another colleague had just been killed. 2 of the bodies were later discovered, one half a mile east and the other west of their car.
It's right there. Go, go, go.
Less than a mile away, locals James Birch and his dad, who had reported the storm in the first place, were caught right next to it.
Go, Dad, go. Go. Just go really fast. I know you can't, but you gotta go. It's right there. It's right there. Go, go, go. It's right there. You see it? Dad, go!
I swear I can't see a thing.
Just look at the fence and then go.
Sliding all over the place.
I know. Oh my God. Go, 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 go. Just keep going. Just keep going.
I can't.
You got to. You got to. You gotta go, Dad. You gotta push through this. Yeah, dude. Hit the gas, hit the gas. Just keep going, Dad. Just keep going.
I can't go in the ditch.
I know, you're good, Dad. You're good. We're out of the clear. We made it. We made it.
Just ahead of them, storm reporters Mikey and Matt had just had the closest shave of their lives.
If we would have stopped, if we would have been 30 seconds slower, that would have started rolling our car. I've seen what it does to cars. It just puts them in a ball. It always kills you if you're in a car. Well, you can literally say you were hit by a tornado, Matt. Yeah. It's not something we should be proud of, but a lot of people say they get hit by one that just get, close. We got hit by a tornado.
December and John eventually found a spot to pull over.
I didn't want to die in that truck, even if it's in a drainage ditch, not in that 18-wheeler. I'm terrified of 18-wheelers.
The storm blew out just ahead of them and 2 miles from downtown El Reno.
Hello?
3 miles south of El Reno, a passerby happened on this house and was looking for survivors.
Someone home? Oh my God. Easy, ES4. Can't tell if anybody was home. Oh my gosh.
The people in the house had fled, but Larry Fisher was hiding in the basement of a technical college when the tornado struck.
Went back down to the classroom. I turned the corner, and the outside wall was gone.
Major damage. You can see all the concrete is tore, and this is heavy equipment that got blown around like Legos. And this is something sort of out of the movies.
It was just really shocking. I knew we'd been through a lot of damage, but I just couldn't comprehend that it was that much. It was just unbelievable.
At 2.6 miles wide and with 295 mile-per-hour winds, the El Reno tornado of 2013 was the biggest ever recorded. It killed 8 people, but avoided the 18,000 inhabitants of El Reno town by just a few miles, making this perhaps the greatest tornado near miss in recent history. Very few sports welcome bad weather, but big wave surfers pore over weather charts looking for it. This wall of water in Tahiti is called Chopo, which translates as the severer of heads. It is created by ocean swell rearing up against an underwater cliff. On top of the cliff is a razor-sharp reef that sits just 7 feet under the surface, and it has killed at least 5 surfers, unlucky enough to wipe out. The wave sweeps up the fallen surfer and buries them head first towards the reef. But this surfer is lucky enough to emerge with his life and his head. Big wave surfers generally need a jet ski to catch a wave, and here's why. Without the power to stay in front of the wave, Marco Frieri is tumbling down a 30-foot cliff of water that will not let him go. Despite being truly chewed up in a wave called Jaws, Marco did eventually become the first person to catch this wave with paddle power alone. One of the hardest things about surfing is getting out beyond breaking waves. Big wave world record holder Garrett McNamara is attempting to swim through the biggest surf wave in the world, Nazaré in Portugal. As the 4-story water wall rises before him, he tries duck diving under it. But it was never going to work. He's picked up and thrown right back where he came from. Thanks to the buoyancy aid under his wetsuit and breath hold training, he survives. But not all pros come out unscathed. Kai Lenny on the paddleboard takes on the monster that is Jaws, but he's not quick enough and tumbles down the wall of water. He makes a valiant effort to stay upright, but is ultimately crushed. In the carnage, he jams his foot into his surfboard fin, which chops deep between his toes. A jet ski and helicopter eventually save his life, but not all surfers are so lucky. An average of one professional big wave surfer dies every year. On 2nd of December 2014, British big wave surfer Andrew Cotton, known as Cotty, set out to ride the biggest wave ever surfed.
All surfers are weather geeks. You know, we've all got the apps on our phones. We all look at the Atlantic. Well, for us, it's the North Atlantic weather systems. The dream scenario is like a huge low in the middle of the Atlantic and then a nice high over where you want to go surfing. So you're having light winds, like calm over land, and like stormy seas.
As Storm Alexandra brewed hurricane winds in the mid-Atlantic, for Cotty, on the coast of Portugal, this was the perfect time to surf. Nazaré gets the biggest waves in the world because a 3-mile deep offshore canyon funnels the Atlantic storm swells up to a single point just off the beach. Here, the waves can rise 100 feet, the height of a 10-story building.
This is something that I've dedicated my whole life to, so, you know, it's like years and years of experience, you know, to come to this moment.
In his day job, Cotty is a plumber. But if he could surf a wave 78 foot or higher, then he would be the world record holder.
I helped Garrett achieve his world record, biggest wave ever surfed, which is in the Guinness Book of Records now. And ever since that day that, like, I helped him get that record, it became apparent to me that, you know, I'm capable of this. You know, like, I can do this too.
This time it was Garrett McNamara on the jet ski, helping Cotty. And he pulled him onto his first big wave, a 50-footer.
You know, like some of those big waves, they happen in slow motion. You know, the ride might be like 5 seconds. But for me, like, those things, those waves, those moments are like an hour.
But he needed a bigger wave, and the next one was 60 foot. But he wiped out.
You know, the scary thing can be when you're down underwater a long time and you can't control those sort of things. Thinking, oh, when will I come up?
The wave held him down while rescuers circled round searching. He was under for 20 seconds. But he only had 5 seconds to recover before the next one.
But it broke so violently on my head, like it almost like, felt like it ripped my arm off. I thought it actually like broke at the elbow.
Cotty had had 2 massive dunkings. Surfers often only survive 3 before running out of oxygen. After the 3rd wave, Garrett on the jet ski finally reached him.
And I can't describe the force that went through your body, you know, like, it felt like almost your body, like if I didn't have my wetsuit on, that my body would be in pieces, you know, like I describe it like being hit by like a, you know, full truck or something like that, you know, like.
It took 3 weeks before Cotty was fit again, and his friend Garrett still had the record.
It's been a long road, so I kind of feel real fortunate to be able to put myself in some horrible situations.
The weather shows no mercy, so anyone going head-to-head with Mother Nature is either incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. A New Yorker films this 200 foot up during a hurricane.
If you see this man all the way up high in the middle of Hurricane Sandy on scaffolding on a high-rise building, you see him there? This is not the goal that any parent has for their children. What in the world is this guy thinking?
The hurricane has flattened fully grown trees, so can easily bring the entire scaffolding down.
These are the things that go on in New York City. There he is.
Having his very first go on a power kite, and we can safely say this high flyer has all the gear, but no idea.
How was that? Brilliant.
In Kazan, Russia, this car park man is attempting to complete his car park clearing duties. Confusingly, that same sport is taking him a while, but he can't figure out why. The same process that causes avalanches can happen on a much smaller scale. The weight of the snow plus ground disturbances is a dangerous combination. This man has clearly never played Jenga. This driver in the UK forgot to move his car before the ice came. After 20 minutes of trying, his girlfriend begins filming, perhaps in revenge for those comments about her driving. He eventually makes the sensible decision to quit while ahead.
Are you all right?
Not content with walking on thin ice, this person wants to walk on water. Near freezing, ice-cold water, proving when it comes to deadly weather, fools rush in where more sensible people fear to tread. Coming up,
we are driving into this.
An Arizona dust storm turns day into night in Phoenix.
The kids started to cry. That was kind of a turn of, hey, we're actually kind of in a bad situation here.
Holy!
An elderly couple are washed away in a Vegas flash flood, but survived to tell the tale. And in the face of deadly weather, we witness the most daring of rescues. Phoenix, Arizona, July 2011.
The first ones of the year are usually the worst because there hasn't been any rain, the desert's really dry, the dust is really ready to be blown up.
Hiker Lauren Shelton watched his hometown get swallowed by a 50-mile wide, 3-mile high wall of dust.
It just started to thicken and grow and then spread out. I've been in a lot of dust storms. I grew up here in Arizona, and we have these dust storms every summer, but this one was different.
On the ground in Phoenix, the storm was blowing thousands of tons of sand towards Jennifer and Gustavo Luna's outdoor wedding.
It's never being too old to hold hands. Are you listening?
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of concern about the weather.
The general weather around here in Arizona is pretty much hot. You really don't have to glue yourself to the weather station to see if it's going to change or not.
I turned around and just saw this big wall of dirt headed our direction.
You have today joined your excuse me.
They were just 5 minutes into their 15-minute ceremony.
I felt like we had time to get it done, but then I didn't because I realized it got there pretty quick.
We'll do the sand ceremony now.
Okay.
Dust storms aren't just inconvenient. They carry valley fever, with symptoms including open sores, pneumonia, and deadly meningitis. But many thousands of residents are unaware of the dangers.
So then the storm isn't actually coming right now.
Oh yeah, there's a huge storm behind us. That's what's pushing
But
it.
you don't even hear any thunders.
Yeah, I know, it'll be here.
So, but I mean, I think it's not gonna.
Seriously, Wendy, get out of the pool. Anything that kicks
You
up,
don't see anything or hear anything.
and that's what's kind of scary.
Inside the haboob, as they are also known locally, 70-mile-per-hour sandblasting winds were heading their way.
Birds are taking off. Like, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Would you please get out of the pool?
Oh my God, it's coming!
That's what I told you.
You do not want to be driving on any major street when this thing hits. It's gonna suck.
This is a haboob.
Haboob that is about to envelop us.
Christian Briscoe, his wife and 2 kids, were returning from a 4th of July holiday and were just 5 miles from home.
We are driving into this.
You have so many monsoon storms that hit in the summertime that you just, have to go on about your daily life if you can. Unless it's really bad, and then you stop.
You see it, Jackson?
Yeah.
I'll be really careful because I can't see very well. At all.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really thick. There's a car over there. It's got...
Once we did drive into it and day turned to night and the kids started to cry, that was kind of a turn of thought for us that, hey, we're actually kind of in a bad situation here and the kids are even recognizing it. So we need to do our best here to make sure we're safe.
On the outskirts of town, Jennifer and Gustavo were celebrating their wedding with what else? A sand ceremony.
Jennifer and Gustavo today will join separate lives together. The 2 separate bottles of sand.
The sand ceremony was very important for me. However, as we were doing it, we were trying to rush everything to get it in because everybody was just getting dirt blown on them.
Separate families and separate sets of friends. Just as these grains of sand can never be separated.
The visibility got so bad I couldn't even see our guests and stuff, so it got pretty bad. A little intense, too.
It feels like you're getting pricked with things, like little tiny needles hitting your skin over and over and over again.
Just imagine picking up some dirt and just someone throwing it in your mouth as hard as they could.
The authority vested in me in the state of Arizona. I now pronounce you husband and wife. Congratulations, you may kiss the bride.
We got married is the important thing, right?
Yes, it is. Definitely.
Come hell or high water, it was happening that
Hell
day.
or haboob, right?
It was in the nick of time as the dust entered downtown Phoenix.
Everything just got hell dark, dude.
In this dust, headlights were useless, forcing this family to stop.
We can't see nothing in front of us. We got caught right in the middle of it.
The wind's blowing like crazy.
We can't see nothing, Amanda. Can't even see the front of the car.
No, like you can't see it through your windshield.
But Christian Briscoe, with his family, struggled on.
So the speed at which the dust storm changed the environment we're in was shocking. You just don't know what's going to come out of the dust from any angle when you can't see more than half a block away.
There's cars over here. We can't see anything in front of us.
Wow. I like to be in control too, so if I just pull over the side of the road and hope for the best, then I'm taking my chances. Where if I'm behind the wheel, I can actually, have some input to what happens if another vehicle's coming near me. So.
Stopped at a stoplight.
I think we are.
You can hardly see. It is right now, the street lights came on. It is now 6 o'clock at night.
Phoenix was plunged into premature darkness, just as 10,000 people also lost power. Up on the mountain, Lauren realized it was too late for him to get home.
When I saw the dust storm forming, I could tell by the direction that the thunderstorms that were pushing it were coming my way, so I knew it was going to come towards me, and then just continued to grow and come right at me.
Ready. It's time to bail.
It got hard to see, and the footing is terrible. There's no trails on that mountain. I just kind of hike up on my own, make my own pathways. Stumbling around there with loose rocks on a steep mountainside in the dark is not an advisable thing to do.
I don't need my sunglasses anymore.
In fact, I might need a flashlight.
You feel a tightness in your chest. I know when I first started experiencing them, it was very hard to breathe. These dust storms kick up a lot of spores and things that you don't want to really be breathing. People get valley fever, so if you're outside exercising and breathing heavy in this kind of conditions, you're just sucking in a bunch of stuff into your lungs you really don't want to.
Very windy. You can hear the wind.
Is there a bull?
You know, looking back on driving through the dust storm, it wasn't the smartest thing to do. We should have probably pulled over and got into a restaurant and had dinner and just let it blow over without having to worry about it.
Christian and his family made it home, but the dust storm hung over them for several more hours. That year, there was a 38% rise in valley fever cases, and the haboob covered some 7,500 square miles, making this a once-in-every-100-year event. And Jennifer and Gustavo's wedding became the stuff of legend.
As far as the sand ceremony goes, I thought it was kind of funny, to be honest. I mean, how can you not?
Dust storms are essential to life on Earth. Without them, we could suffocate. Each year, the wind blows 27 million tons of Saharan dust onto the Amazon rainforest. Full of essential nutrients, the forest in turn gives us 20% of the world's oxygen. So, dust storms feed the lungs of the world, but that doesn't make them any less lethal. The port city of Jeddah in Saudi Arabia has been hit with the worst dust storm in living memory. This massive haboob, as they are known in Arabic, stretches 1,800 miles, as far north as Syria and as far west as Cyprus. They are like tornadoes in reverse. Instead of hot air being sucked up, cooled air is propelled down, creating waves of sand and debris, blown by winds reaching 100 miles per hour. Thousands are hospitalized with breathing problems, and at least 2 people die on the first day. Driving is hard, but flying is virtually impossible. The downdraft inside the storm forces all the airlines in the area to make emergency landings. This one touches down alongside a public highway. Incredibly, no one is hurt, and all the planes around Jeddah land safely. Sydney, Australia, and the city is cloaked in outback dust, blown over thousands of miles.
I mean, dust storm, and that's what a dust storm looks like.
When residents wake up to this storm, they joke they have woken up on Mars. But storms like this cost asthma sufferers their health and $20 million a year in medical bills. In Kuwait, the city is threatened by an apocalyptic barrage of dust. The storm has not been forecast, so at first the locals think it is smoke from a burning building. It blows in with 50-mile-per-hour winds, blocking out the sun and causing utter panic.
Look at this man! Hey! It's coming down! Where is it? What has happened? Careful, man!
On a nearby American Army base, the same storm is a novelty for the soldiers.
If we time it right, we can just like duck underneath and just have it pass us. That's just insane.
But actually, the danger is very real. Invading under the cover of a sandstorm is a local military tactic used to this day by terror groups. Now that's some seriously deadly weather. Though in Kuwait, this soldier is safe, and he seems pleased with his video.
Insane. When do you see the video for this? Do you see the video?
Interstate 15, 30 miles north of Las Vegas, Nevada, crosses America's driest desert. On 9th of September 2014, water conservation expert Doug Bennett was traveling to Las Vegas.
We only get about 10 centimeters of rain per year, and we like to joke that we're never sure which day it's all coming.
Turned out that today was the day.
Some of the people decided they could drive through the ditch that divided the highway.
So I wanted to turn around to get back to base. That's when I tried to turn around and my car got stuck. That's when I personally started freaking out.
Airman Tyler Webb escaped his car before it was too late, but not everyone was so lucky. A mile downstream, truck driver Shane Dukeman filmed the water filling a ravine and flowing under the road.
Yellow barrels are taking off down the road. After
the construction barrels came a terrifying sight. This minivan had an elderly couple inside. A construction worker came to their aid, and the passenger opened the door to escape.
Coming down, ain't there?
Yeah, there's a car coming. That guy just got swept up in the water. Holy!
The vehicle jammed under the bridge. The driver and the construction worker escaped on the car roof. But 75-year-old Margie Miller, seen floating past, was swept away. Back upstream with Doug, another emergency was unfolding.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out!
Airman Tyler Webb's car was about to ram another car ahead.
Not only is the water coming to these people, but here comes a 4,000-pound car.
And the female passenger was trapped inside.
Basically, the center console was too big for her to climb over.
Tyler had helped pull the woman to safety, but then headed back into the torrent.
For whatever reason, I wanted to get back to the side of the road that I started on.
Every gallon of water weighs 8 pounds, every gallon. So it's an incredibly heavy object that can create a tremendous amount of force, and it's moving extremely swiftly.
I'm a 6'4", 200-pound man. You know, I'm pretty big, and it just took me away like I was a rag doll.
Luckily, Tyler was saved by a quicker-thinking colleague.
Where's my car?
He was seconds from being run over by his own car.
It's got good electrics, though. Check that out. The headlights still work. Unreal.
Missing already?
But he had to watch his wheels disappear into the same ravine as Margie Miller's minivan. Her husband, Lauren, and the construction worker were rescued safely from the roof of the van. Incredibly, Margie was pulled from the water 300 yards downstream by a Vegas cop. So no one was seriously hurt, but Tyler's driving habits were changed forever.
If I'm already driving and I get caught in the rain, I'll pull over, you know, if there's a restaurant nearby, I'll just go grab something to eat or something. Like anything so I'm not driving in the rain anymore. I don't like it anymore.
When deadly weather hits, our lives can depend on death-defying rescues. In California, firefighters are beating all odds with this one.
Come on back! We got him! We got him! Keep everybody. Come on now, come on now, come on!
But under 2 feet from safety,
He's in the water! He's in the water!
the fire team are fast to react.
Yeah, there you go, hold on! Hold on, hold on! Brace it!
But there is no way of getting him onto the bridge this time.
Hold on. John, put that other vest behind him, float him behind him. Go, pull it. Got it, got it. Get off the road! Watch your feet. Go, go, go. That other vest behind him, because it needs... Hold on to him, Sam. Yeah. Yeah! Yeah!
Against all odds, he makes it out with his life. Hawaii is an ocean paradise, famous for its waves. But this couple see no danger in scaling this rocky outcrop for a photo.
Oh my God!
Jesus. Yep, call.
We're calling!
The volcanic rocks here are razor sharp. A pair of snorkelers immediately help the stricken couple, and lifeguards and emergency services are on the scene in minutes. The woman escaped serious injury, but her partner is badly lacerated. In northern India, a minivan full of passengers has taken on a flash flood. An onlooker chants, "God have mercy," as one by one adults and children are dragged out. The final person just escapes being crushed by the toppling van. But there's one passenger left behind. The minivan could dislodge at any moment. He beckons rescuers away as he attempts to climb up the van. They sling him a rope and edge out, and get to him just in time.
Hang in there, buddy.
Come on now.
In upstate New York, a resident heard yelping coming from the frozen river 15 minutes ago and called the local fire department.
Come on. Yeah, go out there, go right in the water and get to him.
It's not over your head.
You're almost going to be able to stand up.
Most humans would be hypothermic by this point, with their vital organs shutting down. A Labrador is smaller, so they don't have long.
Get a hold of him there. All right.
There you go. There you go.
They retrieve him from the water, but that is only half the battle. In the ambulance, the dog loses consciousness, so they must warm him up.
Huh? Okay, yeah, Doug, take me to the top.
His heart is still beating, but it's slow.
There is no good heartbeat yet. Good, good. This is cold, this is really cold. Okay, let's try to roll him.
Eventually, their persistence pays off as he wakes up.
Hey, there you go, yeah.
And he is returned alive to his grateful owner.
Heard him from up on the hill here.
But we don't have to be heroic to rescue someone or something in need. As Estonia is drenched in rain, this poor creature has nowhere to go. The macho man in the car thinks nothing of his own safety or shoes. In the nick of time, before this critter is drowned, he scoops it up. And they give the 5-week-old kitten a new home and name it Tilk, which goes to show shocking weather can be our finest hour. In this episode, we've seen Mother Nature chew us up, spit us out, and come back for more. When the chips are down, we've seen how helpless we really are. And next time, there will be more, because deadly weather stops for no one. Weather. It gives us life, and it takes it away.
The tornado has touched down.
You can't do anything.
It is a thing of staggering beauty and a destructive force, killing thousands every year.
The windows all blew out.
The whole thing's gone.
It was the end.
It is gone. The building is gone.
And our warmer atmosphere is extra energy for our weather to unleash upon us.
Oh my God!
We meet the people who came face to face with Mother Nature and filmed it.
I've been fighting it for an hour.
I'm gonna sick to my stomach.
Holy! I just lost my house.
We hear firsthand how these people survived.
Oh my God! Get in the house!
He's alive. He's alive.
It's pretty much the end of humanity.
I was really convinced I would die.
Using their incredible self-shot footage, we stare straight into the eye of the storm. And witness up close the sheer force of nature.
Oh my God, look at that!
Oh! Jesus.
Everybody take cover, now!
Coming up in this episode, the Philippines is hit by its strongest ever typhoon.
This was literally the apocalypse.
Glacial calving in Greenland unleashes tsunami-like waves. And we witness the brutal power of storm surges. November 8th, 2013, and Tacloban City on the Philippines' east coast was in the crosshairs of Typhoon Haiyan, the most powerful typhoon ever recorded. At 6 a.m., winds were reaching 120 miles per hour. Haiyan's eye wall, the most intense part of the storm, was less than an hour away from landfall.
I think the eye wall of Typhoon Yolanda is very close to us now.
Veteran storm tracker Josh Morgaman was in a Tacloban hotel. In an area hit by an average of 9 cyclones per year, Josh feared not enough locals were evacuating.
I think that the people in these regions get a little numb to them and they start to see them as all the same. And the problem was that Haiyan was not like other typhoons. I was getting really nervous.
60 miles north of Josh, Catherine Gearing from the Red Cross had been preparing locals in Catbalogan City, but was now taking shelter.
In the house where we were staying, one of the windows smashed.
There was rain pouring in, so you could definitely feel the power of the typhoon.
As the typhoon intensified, Catherine feared she and her colleagues would not make it through.
You think, is this the right decision that we've made to stay here, and is this structure strong enough?
7 a.m. in Tacloban, and the eye wall was beginning to make landfall. Josh took cover in his hotel as ferocious winds ramped up to 200 miles per hour.
We were in a big, sturdy hotel, and you could just feel it starting to wobble. One of the scary things about being in a typhoon in an urban area is you have a lot of flying debris. I'm talking pieces of metal, large pieces of wood, stuff that if it hit you, it would kill you instantly.
The full force of Typhoon Haiyan was now ripping Tacloban City apart. The smashed windows at the front of the hotel created a vortex, sending Josh to the rear of the building, where he saw a distressing sight.
I realized that something very serious was happening, which is the water was coming up. The bay was actually flooding into the city.
On top of the typhoon's devastating winds, the storm surge swept in from the sea, delivering a second deadly blow.
That storm surge came in so quickly. It came in with sort of like a tsunami-like speed. And what that meant was a lot of people, by the time they realized what was happening, it was too late.
With each cubic foot of water weighing 62 pounds, there was little hope of anything slowing the brutal onslaught. Water levels were now 3 foot high and rising. Josh was on a third-floor balcony as locals on the ground were pushed out of their flooded homes, only to be met by a road that had become a torrential river.
I felt like I was just going to see people die right in front of me, and I never felt so freaked out. I realized I couldn't be an observer anymore. I had to help. And then we just started trying to rescue people.
But as the floodwaters continued to rise in the hotel, Josh and his team's own lives were in danger.
The guests who were in first floor rooms were trapped. The water came up and they couldn't open their doors, so they were literally in these death traps.
The race was now on to rescue the elderly and infirm, who were unable to escape to safety. One man was the wheelchair-bound ex-mayor of Tacloban. Across the city, those that found shelter like Josh could now only wait and hope for Typhoon Haiyan to weaken. Two hours after it began, the typhoon finally passed. In the lesser-affected Catbalogan city, Catherine had ridden out the storm.
There was a huge amount of relief, but there was also a lot of fear because some of our colleagues were in another structure in Tacloban.
She now had to get to worse-hit Tacloban to find her colleagues and begin the relief effort. Meanwhile, Josh was able to venture out to the streets to survey the damage.
We went outside into the streets. This was literally the apocalypse. There were dead bodies in the streets. Whole blocks had been reduced to rubble. This city had been destroyed.
Catherine arrived on the other side of town, where the extent of the devastation was even more apparent.
When we travelled to Tacloban City, it really took my breath away. I knew this city, I'd been there before, and it was totally unfamiliar. We were climbing over cars, houses that had been blown and collapsed onto there was no road. We were walking over this debris, and the whole time you're thinking there were casualties in the area that were under the debris.
Catherine finally arrived at the city's flood-hit Red Cross branch, where her colleagues had been sheltering just hours before.
All of us were really anxious. You can feel it in your stomach, it's like your stomach's in a knot.
Thankfully, they had escaped before the deadly storm surge engulfed their ground floor.
It was a huge relief to know that people that were friends and colleagues for 3 years, were safe.
But with local hospitals in ruins and supplies washed away, their priority now was to provide urgent aid and stem the rising death toll. In the coming days, more supplies arrived as the aid agency set up emergency response units to treat the thousands of survivors pouring in. Josh stayed on to help with the cleanup effort and reflected on living through the worst typhoon in his 10-year storm tracking career.
The night before the typhoon hit, people were just kind of hanging out, drinking beer, playing pool, just like it was any normal night. And I said, "You're not going to ride out the typhoon here, are you? You're gonna go inland, right?" And they just kind of smiled. They didn't seem very concerned about it. After the typhoon, it was just blocks and blocks of rubble, and it was an area where a lot of people died. And I wonder if those people that I spoke to even made it.
Tacloban City bore the brunt of the deadliest typhoon to hit the Philippines since 1881. Haiyan was a humanitarian disaster. It killed 6,300 people, 22,000 were injured, and 11 million were directly affected. Over many months, aid agency workers such as Catherine would continue to treat the injured and provide vital food, water, and shelter to the local population.
We were able to set up health clinics and help with delivering babies. We were able to provide vital health services. If the Red Cross weren't able to respond to this emergency, I think there would have been significant more lives, lost if we weren't there to respond.
When a serious storm hits, the greatest threat to life and property are not the winds, but the ocean storm surges, as these residents of Ocean City, New Jersey find out during Hurricane Sandy. 100-mile-per-hour winds swell the sea, pushing it onto land. Luckily for these storm-chasing locals and this bunny rabbit, the storm surge is only just beginning. As Sandy's winds intensify, so does the surge. The sea walls beside this Staten Island diner provide little protection from the increased ocean swell. As the storm surge vaults tons of seawater onto the restaurant, the owner has no choice but to abandon his business and leave it to the CCTV to capture the devastating effects. But for those that don't see it coming, there is no such escape. This hotel in Rockaway Beach, New York, is hit by a 5-foot tidal surge. The owners desperately try to stem the torrents, but the force of the waves eventually breaks through the glass doors, flooding the ground floor and forcing stranded guests upstairs.
Except we're not going to sing.
And businesses like this are shut down for weeks. Even lesser storms can create a powerful surge if the tide is high. This person in Penzance, United Kingdom, finds himself cornered by waves, crashing over the sea wall. And for nearby residents, this Valentine's Day is a washout. Even when the worst of a storm seems to have passed, it doesn't mean the surge has. As the weather eases off, this group in Brittany, France, venture out to admire the surf, unaware that the storm surge could still pack a punch. In near freezing waters, a deadly rip current is then added to the mix. With an elderly couple in the water, this is now a life or death situation. This onlooker must wait for a lull in the swell to make a daring rescue. And luckily, this surge doesn't prove deadly. But when it comes to storm surges, the ones whipped up by hurricanes resemble tsunamis. Four-lane highways become part of the sea as 30-foot waves are whipped up by Hurricane Chaba in South Korea. And with hurricane-induced surges comes the devastating addition of huge rainfall. The Caribbean bears the brunt of Hurricane Matthew. Kingston, Jamaica is deluged by torrential floodwaters, causing chaos on the roads, damaging hundreds of properties, and sending thousands fleeing to disaster shelters. Greenland is the largest island on Earth. Glacial ice covers 80% of this Arctic wonderland. But due to rising global temperatures, it's currently melting faster than at any other time in history. So tourists who come to see the spectacular but dangerous ice calving are advised to keep their distance. In Ilulissat on the west coast, Jens Moller and his uncle were taking a tourist out to see this spectacular phenomenon.
It's magnificent. We got very close to it at some point, and got so close to it that I could almost touch it.
But just as the boat edged away from the 650-foot ice cliff, something unusual caught his attention.
At some point, I just kept on hearing cracks from a certain direction. It just kept on cracking. And I thought, maybe something big is coming up. I wouldn't say I knew something was coming, but I had a feeling.
Mesmerized by the icefall, the boat party were now in the direct path of this roaring wave of water and ice.
Wow!
The tiny boat was battered and took on water, but just managed to stay afloat.
If we had capsized, I don't think any of us would have survived. The water temperature definitely below zero. So there's this risk of getting cramps, and when you get cramps, there's no way you can swim properly.
Miles from land, the priority now was to escape this unstable glacial corridor.
The moment I was most scared is after the incident. So much adrenaline. I just couldn't control my legs. They started shaking.
Wow.
Luckily, the group made it out unscathed.
This is the wildest thing I've ever tried in my life. Woo! I've never been this close to dying. I've never been this close to dying before.
Having been at the foot of the glacier just moments before, only lucky timing prevented a multiple tragedy.
We were very, very close to the glacier. I don't think other boats would have done that, and we nearly paid for it with worst case scenario life.
Jens came away from the experience with a valuable lesson.
It's magnificent to look at it from a distance, but it can be very dangerous to get too close like we did. Next time I go and sail and go to a glacier with a tourist, I'm not going to be 200 meters away. I'm going to be 500 meters away at least.
As we've seen, getting close to melting ice is not always sensible on a warm day. But these tourists, at the end of the Miage Glacier in Italy, have nowhere to flee. As giant blocks of ice start to fall, they have little chance of escape. 15,000 tons of falling ice sends a powerful wave of freezing cold water straight at them. Many suffer serious injuries, but all live to tell the tale. This is Jakobshavn Glacier in Greenland, where it meets the Arctic Ocean. It's a warm spring day, and these tourists are about to see a giant iceberg form before their eyes. An ancient crevasse starts to split the ice from top to bottom, creating an iceberg as big as a football stadium. The sheer weight of ice below the surface flips it over. Turns out it's true what they say about an iceberg. 90% of it is out of sight.
Oh my God, for det er selvfølgelig derovre, mand!
In the United Kingdom, retreating glaciers have carved this most intimidating peak, Mount Snowdon. Ancient English for snow hill. But when rising temperatures melt ice, damage can still be done and can cramp a climber's style. He comes to rest 100 foot further down the mountain, but escapes with just minor injuries to his ankles. Falling ice can also be spectacular. This crumbling ice bridge is at the end of a 20-mile-long glacier in Argentina. It's as tall as a 20-story building. It was formed when moving ice made a dam across the lake. As the ice below the surface is so badly eroded, it can no longer hold the weight of the ice above. Thousands of years of Mother Nature's work destroyed in seconds. But some people aren't satisfied just watching glaciers collapse. They want to get involved. On the Copper River in south-central Alaska, Keali Mamala decided surfing the ice wave was the way to go. Eyewitnesses can't be sure if he is above the surface. It takes another angle to see Keali conquering the coldest wave he'll ever surf. Coming up, the city of Houston is devastated by a flash flood.
My adrenaline was kicking in. I'm like, am I gonna make it through this?
A freak winter tornado rips apart an Illinois town. And we discover how the El Nino effect turns our weather on its head. Houston, Texas. Surrounded by 2,500 miles of waterways, its 2 million urban residents are at constant risk of flooding. And on April 18, 2016, this low-lying city was hammered by the second largest rainfall in its history.
What in the world? That's what you call somebody who ain't got a family.
2 inches every hour had fallen since midnight. By 8 a.m., this had increased to 4 inches every hour, pushing the city's drainage system to breaking point.
The National Weather Service in League City has issued a flash flood warning for Central Harris County in southeastern Texas.
I grew up in Houston. I've seen a lot of rain, a lot of flooding. I haven't seen flooding to this level, this quickly.
Bill Pennington's home in Maryland, in the southwest of the city, was just 400 yards from the banks of a swollen river as the waters began to rise on his street.
A lot of the flood water actually goes through the sewer system. You know, obviously it's a sewer system. It has some very nasty stuff in there.
Bill's home was flooded just a year earlier, and this time he was taking no chances.
When it starts happening again, you kind of go into a massive adrenaline rush. You need to get things off the ground and move. You can have all the money in the world. You can have whatever you want, and it's not stopping that water from coming into your house. It's complete and total powerlessness at that point.
Bill headed for a neighbor's house on higher ground and could only hope his house would be in one piece when he returned. He wasn't the only one scrambling to escape the fast-rising waters. The overloaded drains breached all over the city. And by midday, 7 of Houston's waterways had burst their banks. City officials were now warning against all forms of travel.
Do not attempt to travel unless you are fleeing an area subject to flooding or under an evacuation order. Turn around, don't drown.
8 miles away in southwest Houston, Ted Nugent was on the way to his mother's in his souped-up Hummer.
They're probably the most amazing, all-capable vehicle. When I heard the news warnings about the torrential rain coming up, I really wasn't that worried. It's not my first rodeo. It wasn't until I hit the freeway that I realized something was wrong. And I'm like, oh my God, like most of Houston is underwater, but I was kind of, on my way to rescue my mom.
As Ted came off the freeway to his mother's neighborhood, he found himself in one of the worst hit areas.
As I got closer to her neighborhood, it got worse. It started getting really bad there. Okay, 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet. Oh, this is getting high. The water starts going over the hood of the Hummer.
Oh my God.
I was getting tingling sensations through my feet, my toes, my whole body. My adrenaline was kicking in. I'm like, am I gonna make it through this?
Emergency services were now responding to over 1,000 rescue calls.
Those guys gotta be busy today.
It wasn't just the people that were in danger. In North Houston, 70 horses had been swept away from Cypress Trails Ranch.
Water has completely submerged this horse barn. As you see people standing on the roadway watching, in an extremely sad situation.
The owner put out a desperate plea for rescuers to help save her horses and livelihood. Trained diver and endurance horse racer Justin Netson heard the call and made his way to the flooded ranch.
I couldn't stand seeing these horses out there, knowing that I'm a good swimmer and I know horses. So my only thought was, I'll just see if I can help. The first couple horses were easy because they were close or semi-close. But at that point, I knew horses were getting tired, and there was a main body of water that was going through them.
As you can see, horses are submerged in the floodwater. They're tied up, trying to swim for their lives. As you see that horse struggling to stay above the water.
Justin and other rescuers were finding tired and temperamental horses in desperate situations. One in particular was in a perilous spot.
It was definitely the hardest and most dangerous spot. The water moves so fast, and these horses are so big, it was pressing them up against logs or anything that was underwater.
In 5 feet of rising water, surrounded by trees and debris, it was not just the animal that was in danger.
A horse in the water, when they're swimming, I mean, the legs are going, and you're an afterthought. So you have to know a horse and the fact that you need to get out of its way.
Meanwhile, Ted had slowed to a virtual standstill in 6 feet of torrential water.
I got really nervous. My foot was on the throttle at 100%, and the vehicle is moving slowly. And, you know, from all that water, just too much pressure. After getting through the most dangerous part of the flood, I had a sense of relief.
Fortunately for Ted and his mother, he was able to make it to his destination.
USA! USA! USA!
Over in the woods, the rescue team was struggling to free the horse.
His eyes were starting to roll back. I knew this horse did not have very much time at all. At that moment, this horse kind of looked at me, and I felt like, okay, he understands. I just thought, here we go, quick prayer, push him. And eventually he went with the rest of the horses.
Justin spent a total of 7 hours in the water and directly helped save 15 of the 65 horses that survived.
A lot of people ask, well, you know, weren't you exhausted afterwards? And honestly, I had such an adrenaline rush that I think time stood still. I was just so focused on the horses.
By 3 p.m., the flood began to recede, and Bill was finally able to wade back to his home.
At that point, we had about 16 inches of water in the house. That kind of hits you that my house is completely ruined.
Bill's house suffered $400,000 worth of damage and was one of almost 2,000 homes flooded throughout the city. By late afternoon, the city's governor declared Houston a disaster zone. 240 billion gallons of water fell on Houston in less than a day. It left 147,000 homes without power. 1,200 people had to be rescued, and 5 died in submerged vehicles.
It is a scary situation that I got myself into, and luckily I'm here to talk about it.
With urban development on the rise in Houston, Bill fears devastating floods will only increase.
Used to be farmland. It would absorb a lot of water. Now it's all houses for many, many, many miles. So now you have all this hard surface, all this concrete, and it has nowhere to go. So it comes up and out of the bayou. So you live in the city of Houston. It can happen at any moment, at any time.
For Justin, he was glad he could do something to help the animals he loves.
I was definitely fortunate enough to be at the right place at the right time What's up, party boy? I feel a slight connection with these guys. I don't look at these horses as horses, I look at them as family. I mean, they bring a calmness to my life.
Every 3 to 4 years, the El Nino effect makes our planet's weather even more extreme. A buildup of warm water in the tropical Pacific leads to more wet weather in some areas and drier, hotter weather in others. In February 2016, Fiji bore the brunt of El Nino's wet weather effects. Cyclone Winston's 145-mile-per-hour winds ripped into the tiny island nation. And even when people did find shelter, the resulting storm surge, combined with the rainfall, flooded hundreds of properties across the country. 80% of its people lost power, 40,000 homes were destroyed, and 44 people were killed in its wake. But in eastern Australia, El Nino had the opposite effect. In November 2015, above-average temperatures and 60-mile-per-hour winds turned New South Wales bushland into a tinderbox. 83,000 hectares of land were turned to ash, and 470 buildings and farms were destroyed, like this one in Pinery. The fires burned for 2 weeks before they could be controlled. And despite widespread evacuation, 80,000 livestock and 2 people perished. In October 2015, increased moisture from El Nino's warm waters fed storms in Southern California. The result was a catastrophic flash flood that tore through a jam-packed Route 58. Many people were trapped for up to 12 hours.
My dad's truck, we were just in there, we had to kick out the window. We made ourselves to high ground, we're still in danger. There's some poor people down there. I hope everybody's okay.
Over 200 vehicles had to be recovered, but incredibly, there were no fatalities. November 17th, 2013, in Washington, Illinois. With tornadoes usually fueled by warm air, residents awoke to the unusual sound of twister warnings in winter.
A confirmed tornado was located near Washington and moving northeast at 60 miles per hour.
Chris Lancaster was at home with his family as a giant twister approached town.
My wife woke me up in the morning and was like, you need to get up. Sirens are going off. It's looking funky outside.
Come on. Get in the house. Come on.
Get her in the basement and kennel them.
Chris, it's coming toward us. I'm going with my baby.
Go with the babies. Leave that door so I can get in.
The tornado was under 2 miles away, with winds that could flatten his home.
As it got to me or coming closer to me, it got bigger and bigger and bigger. It sounded like a freight train. You ready to run with me, okay? Yeah. You ready to run with me, buddy?
Yeah, this is crazy.
Chris's wife and children dived for cover in the basement, but he stayed outside.
I could see the houses being like sucked away by it. And then I was still, I'm infatuated with what I was seeing and like memorized by it. I just kind of got lost in it.
But I hope no one's hurt.
Most of Chris's neighbors had fled indoors.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
But Chris was still mesmerized.
Oh my God! When I flew across the room, I thought I was gone.
Chris was smashed on his head by his fridge, so his son had to drag him down to the basement. But he was in a bad way.
Oh. What happened, Chris? Oh. You get hit with?
Oh no.
In a matter of seconds, this EF4 twister passed. Just yards away, Chris's neighbor was one of the first to surface.
Wow. Holy moly. Oh my God. Our house is freaking destroyed, Josie. Josie, come on now. I know it's scary. Come on now. And watch the nails. That's fine.
2,500 vehicles and 633 homes, including Chris's, were destroyed.
It really looked like a napalm bomb went off around here. I mean, it was just, everything was everywhere.
It was the strongest November tornado in Illinois' history. But despite 5,000 people being in its path, only one person died.
We had one death day of the tornado here in town, which was a friend of a lot of ours around the community, and that very well could have been me.
Chris suffered permanent eye damage and fractured his skull in 7 places. It took him over a year to recover from his injuries and to have his house rebuilt. But were it not for the actions of his quick-thinking son, it could have been far worse.
I thought my wife and kids would never see me again. That probably saved my life. I'm not 100% sure if it did or not, but I'm pretty thankful that he was there to pull me around that side of the corner into that safety room, and with the wife and kids and all them guys. And just to be alive today is a whole new meaning to me.
Our vehicles keep us warm when it's cold and cool when it's hot. But when it gets seriously wet, they offer little protection. Novgorod, Russia, and a bit of light drizzle shouldn't present any issues for these road users. One sharp turn at speed on a damp surface is all it takes to correct that prediction. Thankfully, the driver escapes unharmed. When a flood rips through this road in Islamabad, Pakistan, it's pretty obvious this is a no-go zone. But apparently not to this driver. This person is lucky not to join the millions of drivers killed in floods around the world every year. These much wiser drivers in Queensland, Australia, stay indoors when severe flooding hits.
I'm so glad I parked at the front today. That's coming fast. Should we move our cars out the front of the building and just go?
As the river bursts its banks, the power of the torrent leaves these parked cars resembling rubber ducks.
No. Oh, no.
You got it?
Yeah. Oh. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that is horrible. Whoa.
But one owner isn't prepared to see his car go the way of the others.
Don't, oh mate, don't, just let it go.
He's taking the air out of his tires. As soon as you do that, it floats down.
Don't. Oh.
No, he's a ball. He's taken the air out of them.
There's another one. That is unbelievable.
See if he can take his air out.
Oh, lucky.
Save his car.
Just.
He saves his ride, but it could have cost him his life. A flooded road doesn't stop this driver in Russia until they meet a giant sheet of ice. Deterred but not defeated, this driver calls in some heavy-duty help. But the ice just keeps on coming. Despite the tractor's valiant efforts, these drivers won't be crossing this flooded river anytime soon. Predictably, a torrential downpour in Seoul, South Korea, slows rush hour traffic to a standstill. But no one can imagine what comes next. The rainfall triggers a huge landslide. One of many in the region that saw 69 people lose their lives. As we've seen, drivers underestimate wet weather at their peril. In this episode, we've seen Mother Nature in all her fury. We've seen how helpless we can be. We've seen her tear down, destroy,
our house is freaking destroyed, Josie!
and laugh in our faces. And next time, there will be more, because deadly weather stops for no one.